good morning, good morning, good morning. Stocks go up, stocks go down. Texas Rangers. Okay. Seeger. Okay. Bitcoin. Okay. Some really, really interesting stuff today. Let's give everybody about a minute and we'll get going. You're going to learn a lot today. I'm going to go fast, so you're going to have to listen to it again, okay, on the recording. This is a learning day. I'm going to teach you some stuff, and if you learn it, you're going to learn how to make money with less money and with profits, okay? Let's give everybody a minute. Just double check. We can hear you. Thanks, Kevin. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Let's get started here. 56 people. Okay. So here's the thing. So several things are happening, okay? So Bitcoin. I've been telling people for 5 years, MicroStrategy trades on Bitcoin. Well, we bought Bitcoin last week, if you remember. We bought the 370s, and they went up to $3. We didn't sell them. They went down, so we lost a few dollars, okay? But Bitcoin went up. Bitcoin went up $800, and MicroStrategy didn't go up. It didn't go up. Very straightforward. So either of two things are happening. And MicroStrategy owns Bitcoin. They just own Bitcoin. That's it. That's the whole company. Nothing else. So either of two things are happening. That bond between the two are breaking, and something's wrong with the company, or it has to go up. It has to go up. That's it. So you could say, well, maybe it's a shit company. It's not going to go up. Or it has to go up. It has to correct. And then the pricing was wrong. The price we paid last week, the price we paid this week was less than last week. And the stock higher, even though it didn't go up. Barely. So it was priced wrong. Drastically wrong. Okay? Meanwhile, the other Bitcoin stuff, Bitcoin continued to go. So now you have to have some theories on the war. And here's the first theory on the war. Okay? Let's say you get into a war scenario and something bad happens. An infrastructure goes away, the banks or this, or something fails. What goes up? Gold goes up. Silver goes up. Bitcoin goes up. So it's slowly going up. And then you have the whole ETF thing if it's approved and stuff, and that's why it's flying today. Okay? So that's the theory. So you buy Bitcoin, and this week we put in a decent amount because like Sam said, it's mispriced. So just put in 20 grand, bought 50 contracts, and it goes to 8, 9, 10. I was about to sell it at 10. And I said, I'm going to sell it. From 4 to 10 is 6 points. I was about to sell it. And I said, well, let's not sell it yet. But if it goes down, I'll sell it at 6. So I'll make 2 points. So 2 points on 50 contracts is 10 grand. And they were 10. Okay? So what Sam did, at that point, he bought 50 contracts at 1 on the 400s. Well, Sam, why would you do that? You're going to sell the other one. Because if it continues to go, there's a number out there, 388, and I understand it doesn't trade on numbers, but it's there, okay? So it could pop. So what we did is we bought 50 at 1. On the 400s, 50 at 1. It's only 5 grand, okay? And I was up 30 because it was at 10, right? So then when it goes up more, it goes to 14. I sell them, so I make 50 grand on the trade. And Sam likes to put 10 grand into stuff, okay? So then he buys 50 more of the 400s, which I never do. If you've been with me, when has Sam ever bought something at 1 and bought more at 4. I don't think I've done that in 5 years, ever. Well, why? 400s. Because 400's a big number. If it just gets to 388, those are going to go to $8, $9. So you get a double from 4. At 420s, you're not going to get that double. So now I did put in 20 more grand, but 50 more. So, but it's just profit, right? It's just profit. And now they're going to open at 22. 100 contracts, 22, 220K. All this started last week and the move and what's possible. So now let's talk the next one, okay? Microsoft has earnings. Azure growth 21, 22%. If it comes in at 25, Snow is going to go up 15 to 20. MDB is going to go up 15 to 20. If Microsoft misses and no growth, or growth goes lower in Azure, Snow is going to go down 10 or 15, and MDB is going to go down 10 or 15. Okay? Interesting, right? Okay. So you could buy Snow up and MDB down. You could buy MDB up and Snow down. You could buy NVIDIA up and Snow down. You can both ways. Or if you hit MicroStrategy and you got a grand slam, maybe you just buy one and see what happens. Okay? So now here's the thing with Microsoft and Azure. So what do we know about cloud? AI. Looks like things are getting good. Okay? We don't know. And I don't exactly know how they measure this stuff. I think I know. So there's a difference with Sam. Sam knows when he knows, he knows. Or when he thinks he knows, he says, I think I know. I think. I'm not positive. Azure growth. So let's say Azure has $1 million worth of revenue, and they have $500,000 in expenses. So Azure growth. The next quarter, Azure has $2 million in revenue. Is that 100% growth? Well, what if they had to buy NVIDIA chips and they spent $2 million in spending? So now they have $2 million in revenue, but 2.5 in expenses. Is that 100% growth? I don't know how Wall Street looks at it. So that's why I'm not sure on this. What I know is NVIDIA raised revenue by $6 billion. Out of that $6 billion, I would think Microsoft gave them $1 billion at least. So that's an expense. And I would think Amazon Web Services gave them $1 billion at least. And that's an expense. And Google Cloud gave them $1 billion apiece. And that's expense. So they took delivery of all those and they put it to work. So did they get more people? So the revenue is going to go up? I don't know. But here's what I know. If their revenue goes up, that means people are paying Snow and Snow is paying them. If their revenue goes up, that means people are using MDB databases. If they miss and Azure growth and Google Cloud growth and AWS growth is bad, Snow has got 130 written all over it. MDB's got 320, 330 written all over it. If they all beat, and it doesn't matter how much you spend. It doesn't matter how much you spend. You spend $1 billion, but you got $1 billion in revenue. Well, now you're losing money, right? You're losing money. You have expenses, okay? But Wall Street doesn't give a shit about that. They just care about, is there growth? So we'll see today on Microsoft. So there's your play. So you can go 10 points out of the money, 50 cents, and if it hits, it's going to rocket. If it doesn't, you lose 50 cents. That's it. Not rocket science. And you can buy the other side if you think you want to buy both sides. Who knows? I don't know. Okay? That's trading. Now, something else I've never seen in my life, and this is as effed up as you can ever believe. I've never seen this in my life, and Wall Street is getting so screwed up, somebody's going to sue the hell out of them, okay? So this VMware deal with Avago. VMware is down $7 today, okay? So I called yesterday because I'm going to go buy these 170 calls. They look too good. They're too cheap. So call up a broker, and they make some calls. They don't know. I said, this is impossible. This is price strong. And after 2 or 3 hours, they called me back, and they say, so here's the deal, Sam. If you have VMware shares and you did not make a decision on either you want 0.25 shares of Avago, which is worth $215, or $142, if you did not make a decision, you get $142. You don't get $215. So now record date. Now this is complex, guys. Record date is the date that the brokerages and everybody else use on who owns the stock. So if you own the stock, and I don't know what the record date was, but if you own the stock, let's say a week ago, you have to make that decision. If you didn't make that decision, that stock, when it goes to somebody else, let's say you buy it, and you don't even know who you bought it from. You just know that that stock on record date may or may not have made that decision. And if he didn't make that decision and you buy the stock today, you're going to get 142. You're not going to get 0.25. If the guy that owned that stock on that date made the decision to get 0.25 shares and you own that, you will get 0.25. That's why VMware is down. And that's why the 170 calls are $1. They should be 40. I've never seen this before. Never seen it before. But that's what they're doing. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay? And then we see. Okay? So Microsoft earnings, Google Cloud, Google Cloud, Azure Cloud. We'll see. It's going to move snow. It's move thing. Okay? Lilly, 600. If it gets 600, it will rip. Earnings next week. VMware, don't need to play it because you don't know if you're getting a stock that made a decision to get the 0.25 shares or get the 142. You don't know. Don't get screwed. Now, VMware down means they think the deal is done. They think they're actually going to close it. That means Avago rips. Now, does Avago rip this week? Maybe they don't close it to next week and it rips next week. Massive craziness. Okay? Rates. The last thing that's important, rates. Rates. If we go back over 5%, the market is going to tank. I don't care what any earnings are or what anything. If we break 5.1, you're probably down. You have your first 100-point day. Very simple. Okay? Very, very simple. If, on the other hand, we go lower and we take out 4.7 and goes to 4.5, you're probably at 43.50. All about rates. The earnings are only important. They're only important if the rates are going lower. If they're going higher, I don't care what Microsoft said, it's going to go lower. Okay? Wow. Did I cover everything? Interesting. Hope you like this. A lot of information. Okay? And that's what we know, MicroStrategy is flying. If you bought those at $1, 17 points in the money. I'm going to give you some help here. It's not 17 points in the money now. It was. 17 points in the money is 23. You'll get 23. Okay? Interesting. But don't get screwed. If Bitcoin collapses, we go down. If this is up because of this listing from BlackRock and blah, 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 and they think it's approved, then it goes. Okay? Tom's asking, Tesla's up. Yeah, Tesla's up. It held. Very straightforward. It held okay. But everything says they fired a CFO. Why would you fire a CFO? Very interesting. Something wicked this way comes. We also bought some Tesla puts yesterday. They didn't work, but not a big deal. Because Tesla's simple. If it takes out 200, it's going to collapse. It's going to collapse. Is it going to take out 200? Don't know. Don't know. Okay? And then we see. Okay? So, interesting day lining up. Watch rates, watch the dollar. Trade your MicroStrategy and roll up. Now, here's the other thing. If a Bitcoin ETF gets approved, I'm pretty sure it's going to hit 40,000. And MicroStrategy is at 500. Nobody's saying it happens this week. Okay? Maybe next week or the week after. So maybe you take some of that and you buy the 450s for next week at, $2 or something. Take some profits and let it go. And see if it really goes. And then we see. If not, it's okay. Okay, let's get started. Good morning, everybody. Hope all that helped and you learned. SPX up 25. Stocks go up, stocks go down. It's all about rates. As long as rates don't go near 5%, we're going to go back up. Okay? If they do, we're going to go right back down. How do you watch rates? TNX, the symbol TNX. So TNX is at 48.53. Move the decimal point. 48.53, just move it to the left. 1. It becomes 4.83. Very simple. Okay? Very, very simple. That's how you watch rates. Okay. SPX up 25. That puts it at 42, 43. Yeah, 42, 42, 42, 52, 42, 72, 42, 91. Underneath 4,200. Bad. Under 4180. Really bad. Okay? Interesting. Okay, Avago. So now if you're going to take VMware down, you're saying the deal is done, you probably need to rip Avago up to 877, 882, then we see. And if we go catch a double or triple on Avago, I will probably take the money out of the 900s, take the profit, and buy the 920s for next week and let it play for free. And that's how Sam does it. Okay? VMware, it probably goes to 142 if what I'm hearing is correct. Now, once again, I don't care who you know. I don't care if it's your dad or your mom. I don't care. Don't trust anybody and don't believe anybody. Go do your own research. Call your own broker and find out. And then call a second broker and see what he says. Okay? I mean, don't trust anybody on anything. You don't trust Sam either. It's just do the right thing and learn. When you learn that, you never screw up because you got information and you checked everything. Okay, NVIDIA is flying. Sure looks like 452 is coming. Let me tell you, AMD and Intel and all these guys that say, oh, we're going to go onto their turf. We're going to make their AI chips as good as theirs. Too bad. We're going to screw you. So NVIDIA CEO says, well, let's go do this. Let's go screw all of them. We're going to make microprocessors. So that 20% loss they may get by not selling to China, they're going to go take from Intel. Be wary of when you step on other people's turf. They're going to come right back at you, and then you're going to get smoked. Adobe, 551, 572. If Microsoft rips 20, I would think Adobe goes to high of here. If Microsoft misses, I would think Adobe goes down. Lam Research, 621, underneath 591. Meta, 321, 326, underneath 291. MicroStrategy, no technical number, but if it gets to 421, it probably will try to go higher. But if Bitcoin drops $1,000, it's you're going to give up all your gains. So don't get screwed. Coin, a little bit better, 87, 91, underneath 77. Coin is up, but in reality, coin shouldn't be up. Do you really think BlackRock and all these people are going to use coin to do their transactions? Maybe. Maybe not. I would think not. Interesting. Lily, look for 591 as an accelerator. MDB, 372, 332. Snowman, 162, 170, 149, it's right there, 149, 139 on the downside. BKNG, nice move yesterday, 75 points. If a world war were to start, this thing goes to 2,300. Don't care what you think. Just telling you what's going to happen. Netflix, 416, 422, under 391. SMCI, NVIDIA's ripping back up. SMCI, 276, 300. Enphase. I actually like Enphase. This is very interesting. If Enphase were to go down to about 93, I may take a shot at 110. And then we see. Okay? NOW earnings. 572, 491. Microsoft. Doesn't matter. 341, 316. Tesla. 218, 209. And that's what we know. CMG, no earnings play yet? No. Let's see what happens with MicroStrategy. What a day. Hope you learned a lot from the call. Everybody have a great trading day. See you in chat.